All right, let us learn some of the laws. We were learning the laws of washing your hands. Washing, as we're learning from the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, from the laws of washing your hands in the morning. So we said when a person wakes up in the morning, that there is, first of all, he's like a new creation, so he should wash his hands. And then there's an additional reason, according to the Zohar, that there is impurity on the hands. And this impurity comes from the fact that when he was asleep, he was like he was dead. And when he wakes up, all of the death leaves him, except it says it's on his hands. So therefore, he should wash his hands 3 times alternately. Pouring from one, and you should start off, first of all, fill it up, hold the vessel in your right hand, he said, fill up the vessel, give it to your left hand, and then the left hand should pour on the right, and that's how it should start the whole alternating series. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Do it 3 times. And this water, the water that comes from as a result of this, is impure. You should get rid of it somewhere where no one will walk over it or no one will use it. And before you wash your hands, you're not supposed to touch any aperture of your body. You're not supposed to touch your clothes or food. Good. Okay, what if a person says to himself, listen, I don't have any vessel that I can pick up. You know, I have a vessel that's very heavy. I can't pick it up. Can I just fill it up with water and just alternate sticking my hands in it? You know, fill up a bucket with water and just, you know, stick right, left into the bucket. That's an idea. Says the Rebbe, it's an idea, but it's not a good idea. Why? If you just stick your hands inside of a vessel that has water in it, and you do it 3 times, in the same vessel, then lo alta lo natila, then it's not good. Then the washing the hands does not bring about la'avir ruach ra, removing the spirit of impurity from your hands. Why not? As soon as you stick your hand in the first time, all the water becomes impure in the vessel. And so they become like water that should be poured out, impure water. And this, by the way, is very relevant because a lot of people, for instance, in Chabad, our custom is that we put a bowl and a natla, you know, the thing that you, with the 2 handles on it that you wash your hands from. We fill up a natla with water and we put it inside of a sort of a big bowl, usually a plastic bowl, and it should be a bowl that nobody wants to use anyway. That's some disgusting, whatever. And we put it next to the bed. Some people even cover it over, but put it next to the bed so that as soon as you wake up in the morning, you say Moda Ani, and then you can just lean over and wash your hands right next to the bed. But what happens if by accident you wake up in the morning and you say Moda Ani, and you stick your thumb into the water that's in the natla, or your hand in the water that's on the natla? So that disqualifies all the water. You have to ask somebody to bring you new water. If there's nobody around, then walk slowly, less than 4 amas, and stop, and less than to go to the fill it up yourself. So that's if you stick your hand into this water once, it disqualifies the water. But if you stick your hands in 3 different waters, in other words, each time you stick your hands in together, once, take it out, twice, 3. Or if you stick your hands into a river, here when it says 3 times, it seems to indicate that you're sticking both hands in at the same time. Because it can't be that you're alternating, then you'd have to have 6 times changing in the water. Or let's say you want to stick your hand, you sleep next to a river. You can stick your hand into a river that's moving, that the water, the first water, in other words, the water in front of you, it goes away. Every time you stick your hands in the water, it's like different water. So in those cases, we should have a doubt. Im altalo natila, if the natilas yadayim, it really counts to get rid of this bad spirit that's on them. The tovin, it's good. Sheyachzu, you should go back and wash your hands from a vessel like you're supposed to. In other words, pouring on them alternately, right, left, right, left. It could be that the spirit of impurity does not leave your hands unless you pour on your hands 3 times alternately from a vessel. In other words, even if you stick your hands in a river alternately, it's better if you do it from a vessel. A vessel is the best. What if a person was awake the whole night? Now, there's different opinions, but let's just read what it says here. If a person is awake the whole night, you have to wash your hands immediately when you wake up. No, I'm sorry, not when you wake up. Immediately, you don't wake up, right? You were awake the whole night. You didn't go to sleep. If you were awake the whole night, then as soon as the day lights, which is usually what's called alot hashachar, and this was just the first sliver of light that the light goes on the horizon, as you should wash your hands. Even that the whole night you did not remove your mind from protecting your hands. In other words, your hands did not touch any concealed part of your body. You didn't scratch under your shirt or anything. Or I got a better idea. He put gloves on his hands. Nowadays, a lot of people do that with this corona panic. So people cover their hands. They would cover their whole, dressed like mummies if they could, to keep them. People put gloves on their hands. Nevertheless, you have to wash your hands from a vessel. If you were awake the whole night, you did not sleep at all, and you watched your hands so that they did not touch any part of your body, you put gloves on. So it was impossible your hands could have touched anywhere. Nevertheless, you have to wash your hands, but without a blessing as soon as the sun comes up. Why? There's no impurity. Impurity only comes when you're asleep, right? So it says, no. It could be, when the Chachamim established that there should be Netilas Yadayim, washing your hands every morning, for the reason we said in the first, namely, what was the first sif? First sif, this we learned a while ago, was because a person, when he wakes up in the morning, he's like a new creation. A person, when he wakes up in the morning, he's a new creation. It's not because of the impurity. Here, let's say there is no impurity. You didn't sleep the whole night. There was no impurity. Impurity only comes when you go to sleep. You become a little bit dead. And when you wake up in the morning, the death leaves you, except for your hands. Therefore, you have to wash. What if you didn't go to sleep? So the person didn't go to sleep, so there's no impurity. But there is the reason that every day you are made into a new creation. And because you're made into a new creation, therefore, lo ratzu l'chalak ben yashan, they didn't want to make a difference between if you did sleep. If you did sleep, 1 second, I want to get this phone call. Hello. Yes, can you call me back in 20 minutes, please? I'm giving a class. I didn't hear what you said. Call me back in 20 minutes. You're made a new creation with even if you didn't sleep at all. So in other words, what does it mean you're made a new creation? It means that you woke up from your sleep? Maybe not. It means that in the nighttime you couldn't serve in the Holy Temple. When the morning shines, then you can. So it's like you're a new creation. So therefore, a person that did not sleep at all should wash his hands anyway. What about the blessings? We'll see. Here's another case. What about if a person goes to sleep, but he wakes up before Amud HaShachar, before the first glimmers of light occur on the horizon? V'natal yadav, and he washes his hands. Tov sheyachzor v'yaneh yareh al yadayim gimel pamim. It's good. It says as soon as you wake up, you're supposed to wash your hands. But it's good that you should wash again when the day shines. Let me just look up over here in Israel. When exactly is Alot HaShachar? Bear with me one moment. I want to look over here in this calendar and see what is the time of Alot HaShachar. Here it says that, Amor Shah, here it says that here we are I'm in Kfar Chabad, Tel Aviv. It says that it is 5:08. 5:08. Here I have another calendar from Chabad, and let me see what this says. Here it says that it is 1 minute. Five. Here it says it's 4:35. Here it says that Olat HaShachar is 4:35. So is it 5:08 or 4:35? Take your pick. But in the Chabad calendar, it says that it is 4:35 in the morning. Okay. And here it says it's 5:08. Okay, I don't know where they get their information from, but it must be also from a reliable source. As reliable as it is, it's about a half an hour after what it says in Chabad is. So in any case, you went to sleep at 12 o'clock and you slept for 3 hours, you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. For sure, that's before Olos HaShachar, according to all the opinions. Now it says you woke up, you have to wash your hands. You woke up, you went to sleep, you wash your hands. It says it's good to wait until when the sun comes up that you should wash your hands again. Why? Because maybe it's not exactly only the sleep that changes you from impure to pure when you sleep, when you wake up, but it could be that the nighttime is what does it. It could be that the nighttime, this is what causes that there should be a unclean spirit on your hands, even if you didn't sleep. Oh, so now we have two things, right? Maybe it could be just the morning coming up, right? You lived through the night, you were alive. The morning comes up, whether you slept or not, you're impure. Your hands are impure. In any case, even if you go back to sleep again, Shinat Keva, right? You slept from 12 o'clock until 12:30. You woke up, and then you went back to sleep from 12:30 until the sun rose. The Vadai, then certainly you went to sleep and you slept for 4 or 5 hours. Then the second time, for sure, there was a spirit of impurity on your hands. Nevertheless, the first time you have to pour water 3 times on your hands when you wake up in the morning. So let's say you want to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you have to pour 3 times on your hand, even though that you're going to go back to sleep again. Nevertheless, lo yavorech, but when you wake up in the nighttime, don't bless on this washing of your hands. The blessing on the washing of your hands is only when you become a new creation, like we said before. And this little bit of sleeping that he did from, let's say, 12 to 1 or whatever, he's not made into a new creation. A person can only be made a new creation once, not twice. So therefore, the first time he doesn't make the blessing, the second time he does. So again, a person sleeps from 12 o'clock to 1, he should wake up, wash his hands, but not make any blessings. And then when the sun comes up in the morning, he should make all of the blessings. As far as I learned in Chabad, our custom is that if a person goes to sleep before midnight and he wakes up after midnight, it doesn't make any difference. Even if he goes to sleep a half an hour before midnight, wakes up a half an hour after midnight, then he should wash his hands and make all of the blessings, except because it says Shema Yisrael. On the other hand, if a person goes to sleep after midnight and he wakes up before the sun rises, before Olat HaShachar, he of course must wash his hands, but he does not make any blessings unless he goes to the bathroom and he makes Asher Yotzer. Does not make any blessings whatsoever. He has to wait until Olat HaShachar, and then he makes all of the blessings. And then there's a big question if you're supposed to say the Elokei and the Shama and the Satabi. The way I learned it is that when you wake up, if you stay up awake the whole night, when there is Olat HaShachar, here it says in the Chabad calendar, it's 4:35, that you should say all of the blessings, because that's the order. You're just giving praise to God, whether you did these things or not. In the manner that we make a blessing on hearing the rooster crow, even though we don't hear the rooster crow. Right? We'll see, according to the law, that you only make this blessing if the rooster crows, but the way we do it is there's an order of just giving praise to God, and we praise God for all these things, whether we slept the whole night or we didn't sleep the whole night. As we will continue, God willing, tomorrow. Now let us go to Mishnah. I'm just looking for the link to get into this the excuse me one moment. I'm almost there. Here it is. Here it is. No, that's not it. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Zoom. There we go. By the way, Yochanan, do you receive, and also you, Silke, do you receive, what's this here? Oh, this is me. Do you receive my weekly Devar Torah? Do you receive my weekly Devar Torah that I send out? It's always a story or something like this. Yes. Oh, good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Please tell your friends also to do it. Oh, wait, what happened? Here we go. Yeah. All right. We're talking about the very unpleasant, but one of the more unpleasant facts of life, at least that's what it used to be in the time of the Holy Temple, getting lashes for sinning. We said we enumerated like 200 something, what is crimes, the sins that a person could get lashes for. And we explained how it's done. And now the person who's giving the lashes, who's administering the lashes, he says like this: Im lo tishmor lasot v'ifli Hashem. If you don't do the commandments that God wants, then God will give you all these punishments. This is all the punishments that are written in Parshas Ki Tavo. V'chozer, and he goes back to the v'shemartem et divrei brit hazot. Listen to these words of this covenant. This covenant that was in the Har Grizim and all this. And he finishes, it says, Hu rachum yechaper avon v'lo yashchit. You say all these words. If the person, you're giving lashes to someone, the doctors are there. Remember, we learned yesterday that the doctors estimate how many lashes this person can receive, and before he gets into a danger of death, because you can't kill a person by lashing. Lashes is a different punishment than death. There's no punishment. There's only 4 ways to kill a person, according to the legal 4 death penalties, and that you learned in Sanhedrin, the Mishnah in Sanhedrin, that the Arba Mitzvah is based in. Lashes is not one of them. So they have to. A doctor is there that ascertains what is the maximum amount of lashes this person can receive and not be anywhere in any sort of a danger of dying. But what if nevertheless he dies? What if he dies? In mei tachat yado, the person is exempt. What if hosif lo od ratzu achad? What if instead of we said there were 4 straps that were, I don't know, I guess they must have been like a yard or 2 yards long, whatever, from a cow, and 2 from a donkey. What if you added on another strap, the hosif lo od ratzua, and the person dies? Then the person, the one who's giving the lashes, he has to be sent to Galus. Right? We learned about the city of refuge. Okay, here's an interesting law. What if you're lashing a person deserves lashes, right? And you're lashing him. Nitkalkel, and the person goes to the bathroom. Bein ra'i, bein b'mayim, whether he defecates or whether he urinates, that's it. The punishment is finished. Stop. says that's the first. So that's sort of an easy way out, even though not a very pleasant one, and not a nice thing to talk about. But here it says in the Mishnah that if the person that's receiving lashes, if he becomes incontinent, then you stop lashing him. We're going to see why. We'll see the explanation. Rabbi Yehuda says a man if he defecates and a woman if she urinates. That stops the punishment. Okay, hakora. Let's look at the commentary. Hakora, the one who's giving the beating, the one who's administering the beating, he has to say these pasukim. Im lo tishmor la'asod, that called divrei Torah zot, hakatuvim b'sefer zeh, lirat Hashem, to honor God, who is the awesome one. Then it says, he fli Hashem et makotcha makot zarecha. Then God will give you these tremendous makot. Makot means lashes, but it also means punishments that are said over here and all these different diseases. And then after that, if you finish, the one who's giving the lashes finishes saying these sentences. In other words, he has to say the sentences while he's giving lashes. Before he finishes the lashing, then he goes back again and he reads it again until until the person. So it seems that there are two people. One person screams out these sentences from the Torah, and the other one is administering the and he repeats it over and over until all of the lashes have been administered. The Kain who Korah at the Pasukim, and also he reads the Pasukim, V'shamartem et divra brita zeh, v'ositem oto laman taskilu et asher ta'asun. And he finishes with the sentence, V'hu rachum yechaper avon. This is what we usually say right before Yom Kippur. It says you administer very light with a belt, lashes on a person's back, with his coat on and everything, not like real lashes. real lashes, the person, has to be directly on the person's skin. We learn that. We say, says, etc. Some places it says, and you go back to the sentence, and the Rambam also doesn't say this, doesn't say you do this. He just says you say hurachum. Therefore, our Mishnah says it's brought in parentheses. See, look here. See, look how it says our Mishnah. See, it says ushmartem et britazot, etc. This is all in parentheses. Some people say you do say it, and some people say you don't say it. All right, what if a person, the one that's administering the lashes, he causes the person to die? So he says, pator, he's exempt. The one who is giving them, why? Because he did so with the permission of the court. And the doctor thought he would be able to stand the lashes. What happens if he adds one strap? In other words, or he gives him one more hit than he's supposed to. He says, right? Like he made a mistake. He said, okay, the judge says, okay, give him 13 lashes, and he gave him 14, and the person died. So he said, then he goes, he gets exiled. Why? He didn't kill him intentionally. He didn't want to kill him. He killed him unintentionally. He made a mistake. What if he added too many blows? He gave them, instead of, it was supposed to give him 13 and he gave him 14. And what if the person did not die? Then the one who's giving the lashes, he transgressed a negative commandment. Like it says, lo yosif. And the Gemara explains what it says, lo yosif. It says, maybe you'll give a makarabba. Then it says, ein li mishum yosif elo makarabba. We don't know that the person is guilty, the one who's giving the lashes, unless he gives a big, what does that mean? A big mata. In other words, more than one, more than two. How do you know if he only just exceeds the amount he was supposed to have given of lashes by only one? The Talmud says lo yasif. If so, why does it say maka rabba? Why does it say if you give him a lot of more than what he's obligated? This teaches on the first one, she'em maka rabba. The first ones are supposed to be with all of his power. This is how we learn that you hit him with all of your power. And there's the first 13 or whatever it is, 30, 39 that he's supposed to give him. That has to be with all of his power. He has to give him. He has to hit him with all of his power. And if he exceeds even by one, then he's guilty. Why does it say if only one? Then it means that if it exceeds at all, even a little bit. Why does it say if you exceed by makaraba? Is to tell you no, not about the ones you exceed. If you give him one more big maka like the first ones, then you're guilty. In short, you're only allowed to give the number of stripes, of hits that the court decrees. If you give him more, you're guilty. You're guilty of a negative commandment. If the person dies, then you have to go to a city of refuge. What happens if a person goes to the bathroom, that comes from excrement, or he urinates, right? Or he or she, women can also be beaten. Right? So it says that the one who's getting beaten, he is exempt. That's it, he's finished. You don't give him any more makos. In the Gemara it says, Nilka achicha beinecha, because it says you have to smite your brother to your eyes. And he already became smitten. He already shenit bazel yidei kokolo. If the person goes to the bathroom, it means that he has defiled himself, he embarrasses himself. And that's sufficient. That's called a makkah. Rabbi Yehuda says, and let's not be too lenient. What do you want to say? If a man that's getting makot, if he urinates, when he goes free, he says, I don't agree. A man only goes free if he defecates. Einu pater milakabel al makos el la'achar shenichlach lech, that he dirties himself, soiled himself because of excrement. But a woman, even if she's getting beaten and she urinates in the middle of the number she's getting beaten, a woman, she's exempt even if she just urinates. And the law is not like Rabbi Yehuda. The law is that also a man can be exempt if he urinates as well. Here we have, this is the, well, no, this is a little bit, this teaches us a little bit about life. So we'll do this tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Friday, so we'll do it on Sunday. On tomorrow, on Friday, there will be a class from 8:15 until 9 o'clock. That's it, from 8:15 to 9, and we'll learn a sicha of the Rebbe, a special sicha of the Rebbe that deals with Yud-Tes Kislev. Hope to see you. Tell your friends. God bless you all. And Mashiach now.